That only turns that one on all the time.
Okay.
That's a good picture.
Well, wake everyone up and also give position accuracy for the microphones. So, welcome to this management committee meeting, and it's great to see the AV system up and working. First meeting, was it? Was it only installed today?
No, last week.
Last week. Okay. Any apologies for absence?
No.
And any declarations of interest? Applications from dispensations. Report from Ross Police.
No, we haven't had anything, but they have been in contact to our permission for part with their engagement ban for 7 weeks over the summer. Talk to people about river safety and hopefully prevent antisocial behaviour, etc. So that will be happening.
Okay, that's quite good incident. We don't need to vote on that, do we? Okay. Herefordshire Council members to receive a report from board members on condition only. Ed, do you want to tell us?
Sure. Various committee meetings over the past month at county level, including the street committee, where we spent a considerable amount of time looking at how the drains maintenance had improved since the motion that went to full council for Christmas, and an update on the £2 million flood mitigation investment. I'm concerned that they haven't moved forward as quickly as they could have done with the mapping software that we voted to move forward with, which will enable people to literally find their house on an online map, look at the drain outside the front of their house, click on the drain, and it will tell you when it was last cleaned, when it's next due to be cleaned. The idea is that we have this software across the whole of the county, so that Lakesman can schedule in when we can tell Lakesman to go in and do it at a certain time to maximise the impact of our investment as parish council in our Lakesman's contract. It hasn't been as fast as I would have liked, and it looks like they're trying to push it into the next contract when the new guys take over next autumn. But I'm hoping it's gone to cabinet next week, and they'll be looking at purchasing the software in advance of that so they can move it forward. That was a positive outcome that came out of that meeting.
So it's not going to be implemented much before September.
That was where we were at before the scrutiny meeting.
Okay.
I'm hoping we're in a better place now, and the conversations I had with cabinet members after that meeting said they were going to look at moving it forward at pace rather than waiting for the new contract to kick in. Because I think 2 years is too long to be waiting for that to start. I attended the scrutiny management board on the 1st of July, and again I spent a lot of time looking at the backlog in capital projects, which I think is almost what we describe it almost as a traffic jam of capital projects, where the council is constantly saying we're going to do this, we're going to spend all of this money, and then they haven't. It just doesn't happen within a year. So it's raising expectations, and it's just not, especially around section 106. And I think that's really important that section 106 money is spent when it can be spent in a timely manner for those communities that are having to deal with the impact of the new houses on their doorstep. So again, that came up, and I'm waiting for more feedback on that from cabinet. I've also submitted a motion to the next full council meeting, which some of you may be aware of, around defence and defence investment in the county in light of the government's recent strategic defence review. And the main resolution is that council writes formally to the Secretary of State for Defence and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, urging them to consider Herefordshire as a location for one of the planned new factories and associated supply chain investment for munitions. It's hoping that the history Herefordshire has within the munitions industry, I think we all agree, certainly those of us that put the motion forward, that it would be good maximise the potential of the county and see that investment coming to Herefordshire rather than somewhere else. So that's going to be voted on later this month. In addition to this, all the usual regular ward work, but some interesting stuff that's been happening in County Road.
Okay, thank you. Louis.
Yes, I only want to raise two items with you, Chair. First of all, my committee has initiated a detailed and long-term study on bus provision across the county, which I think will be of interest to this council, given that we in Ross do rely on buses for public transport, given that our station was ripped away from us in 1965. That study will be sponsored by my committee, and they will be reporting back to the Environment Sustainability Committee, which is my committee, by March next year. But I'll be more than happy to take any representations from anyone around this table and feed that into the group as to the law.
So I think this county on the movement study mentioned about buses, particularly nighttime provision.
Yeah.
To enable workers to either get to or from work early in the morning and early evening as well, because they seem to stop quite early coming from Gloucester. I know that's inter-county, but the same is from Ross to Hereford.
That has been raised by me in full council before, Herefordshire. The terms of reference are quite wide-ranging here, so there is scope for them to look at all aspects of bus provision and look at new models of delivery as well. If anyone wants to, as I say, give me any representations, I'm happy to have them, particularly from the Planning and Development Committee, if they want to have a look at the terms of reference. I'm quite happy to share the draft ones with them. The only other one I want to raise is I've attended a group consultation on the first phase of the Western Bypass. The council is moving to what they call early contractor engagement, where they go to the market to see what the likely interest is in contractors being willing to actually bid for the Southern Link Road, which is the first part of the bypass running across the southern part of Herefordshire. That will go to Cabinet on Thursday, and if Cabinet approve it, then they should be looking to go out to procurement during the summer, and there should be work on the design phase up to December, I think, this year. These things slip though, I don't want to get too precise about it. But the one thing that is certain is that this particular administration is determined to actually push ahead as fast as they can with the Western Bypass. This bus road, by the way, has been funded by Herefordshire through prudent borrowing. There's no money coming from the government yet, but it may be that once they have a contract in place, they may then be able to engage with the Department of Transport or any government funding that there might be. But it is actually being funded by council taxpayers through prudent borrowing. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Chris.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to mention three issues. First one is, it seems that the resurfacing at the top end of Ledbury Road might be done in the next month or so. Oh. This has been on my priority list for so long, it seems like a dream that it would ever be resurfaced. People hope the priorities do not change in the next month, and that this much needed piece of work is completed on time.
Does that include the Pelican Crossing?
No.
No,
It's separate from the work.
separate.
It's funded by Section 106.
Yeah.
Two, I've had a report of persistent antisocial behaviour in part of my ward. I've reported this to the local safe neighbourhood team. And three, there's been persistent problems with foul smells in part of my ward for the last couple of months. Welsh Water seemed unable to sort this out. So I've today referred the whole issue to Jessie Norman MP's office with a request that they investigate the problem closely with them to sort the issue once and for all. And it must be said that Councillor Lister and Councillor Fowler have helped out with this issue in the recent past, and I'd like to thank them for that.
Okay, thank you. Ellie.
Sorry, could I ask if there's any news on the Pelican Crossing
at all. The news on the Pelican Crossing is that it should be, it's currently in the design stage, but as I've said on many previous occasions at town council meetings, there's around £13 million worth of money which has been received by the county, and the county does not have the resources or the wherewithal to spend all that money at once on all those myriad of different projects. So there's going to be some at the beginning of the queue and some at the end of the queue. This is actually nudging its way towards the front of the queue. So it's in the design stage, but the last intelligence I had was that it was hoped to be put in next summer. Now, the money is in place, which is the most important. So the money has been allocated to the project, and it's now up to the Section 106 projects team to work through priority ones, current list. So next summer is what I've been told the expected date is. But that, as I've said before, priorities change, circumstances change. It could be accelerated, it could be decelerated. But that's what I've been told.
Danny.
Yeah, just on that note, you probably know Councillor Bartram, but they were there last month, mapping out the road and doing all the measurements, and they were quite hopeful that it was going to take place. So, touch words, they're not talking rubbish. And we will get it done.
Because I was in Canada.
Okay, well, they were there last month, measuring it up and doing the mapping of the road, and they were very hopeful that they were back close that it was going to get done. So,
Right.
fingers crossed.
Okay. So, okay, thank you. So we'll move on for a presentation by the past Mayor, Councillor Beth Pope, proceeds raised burial year 2024 to 2025 to a nominated charity, Homestart Herefordshire.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. That's amazing.
5,000 quid. Hey, come on. Very good.
Not today, it's soon as you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Meeting, but I'm just very quickly thank you so much for this. This is much more than we could have dreamed of. And I think, as everybody here will know, it is getting increasingly hard for local charities to raise funds. And we have more and more families who need the support of our over 16 Homestart Herefordshire volunteers. And this will help us recruit more volunteers and support more families across Herefordshire. And I can promise you all that at our board meeting last week, I did raise the issue of potentially looking at what we could do in Ross to support families in the Ross. So this will go an awful long way to helping us. Thank you so much for all the work that you did to raise this.
And good luck with the work in the coming years.
They would, yeah, absolutely. This is what I'm doing. Thank you.
You don't need to sit with us.
Next bit, and then go and buy a chair.
Bev, we couldn't just get a photo for us.
Yeah, sure. Got the point. Sorry,
Council. Could have got handy to send it to us.
Send it to us for free. So she's going to get away.
Let's avoid the copyrights.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank
I have.
Okay. The next item is public participation. We've got several members of the public here. So, could you show of hands who would like to say something to us? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4. Okay. So, if you can just keep it to no more than 3 minutes, please.
I'm Maggie Hillcart. I'd just like to say I am a member and a committee member of the Bextor Twinning Association, and I would like to say that we were very, very, very disappointed that there was no mayor or representative from the council or from the mayor or deputy mayor did not turn up at the civic reception. The civic reception is the town council's to get together, not for the group itself. So we were very embarrassed and disappointed by a no-show. Councillor Utting did stand in as a representative at the last minute with his ChatGPT on the spot speech, but there obviously was a prepared speech which we didn't have, and also we're just embarrassed, and I think it's quite disgusting really that the town didn't turn up.
That was entirely my fault. That, all I can do is apologise. For some reason, I thought it was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't think there's any excuse, personally.
No, there isn't. But I don't blame the whole town council because it is entirely my fault,
Okay.
and I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. The mayor did turn up later on in the evening.
Yeah, it would have been nice if in the evening that he would have actually said an apology, stood up and said an apology. There were speeches, and I know in the evening it is the group's meeting and dinner, but the mayor could have stood up and apologised for not turning up, somebody from the council not turning up. So there were 2 opportunities missed there.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah.
Am I allowed to ask? I would like to know if the council or anybody on the council has decided what's going to happen in Ross. Now we've only got one bank. 2 Saturdays out of the last 6, there has been no cash in any of the ATMs. And don't say we don't use cash, please, we do.
Well, first of all, I did run out of cash for the same reason, because I couldn't find a cash machine. We are immensely aware of it. It is a commercial decision, not a council decision for the closing of branches. But I think we are fighting towards getting a banking hub or something like that going. And
I think it's appalling what we do. We're in a very difficult situation. I have applied to Link and asked them to assess the situation, to assess the town, to see if we qualify for a banking hub. And they haven't come back to us. And we've still got Nationwide and we've got the post office. We're in, yes. We still have Nationwide and we still have the post office. And when they assess this, they compare the number of bank establishments that we have with the population of the town. And based upon that, they determine whether we're eligible for a hub. But we're going to continue pushing to do what we can.
People are just going to other towns and doing their shopping there. So we're looking at
it is disgraceful. And sadly, we can't force Abbey National to stay open. We couldn't force Lloyd's to stay open. But and a banking hub, as far as it goes, is okay, but it isn't the same.
But it's very good. I have one in my original home.
Well, then is that the one in Kirkcaldy?
In Kirkcaldy.
Kirkcaldy, right. I remember we have discussed this in the past. They do vary in quality according to the amount of money that's put into them. So watch this space. We have applied, but we can only ask. But some of us are doing what we can.
Sorry, could I ask? There is a banking plan that comes around once a fortnight. I've been stuck exactly the same. My son's been stuck exactly the same. We've actually had to be going and getting cash back from shops, which obviously means a purchase every time, which is like so. I don't know how old you are, but my mum's 87 and she can't do any online banking.
I do online banking.
Yeah, I've taken over cash. Yeah, you still need to be able to get the cash out. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
yeah.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Cathy Lennon, I'm the Standing Northeast on the way to get. So.
Sorry,
Yeah, just going back to the banking one, just in support of all businesses, we have got the Coventry as well, that used to be what was more spoken on, which is good too. But anybody can go in and fill that online form in to request a banking hub. So like many things I say on the county council, the more people that apply for it, the more attention there is up. So share that news with anybody. I can, I'm sure any of us can share that on our personal pages or Facebook pages.
so could I ask?
We've been before, and the last one, there was a reason we couldn't, wasn't there?
It was, when we raised it before, I think the bank was still open. The bank closed, Link will come.
Oh, they do their own.
So they do, that is the process.
So they do it, no, you don't have to request it, they will do one automatically.
Okay, I thought you were indicating.
You can request it.
You can request it.
Yeah, it's more, the more the merrier.
More people, I just wondered whether. So what I was wondering is, Carla, if you could perhaps put the link on our website.
Very good.
Well, on the start of our Facebook page, and encourage the town
Yeah, and you can.
to request it. If that's okay. Thank you. Mark.
Yeah, a couple of points on the community. First thing is on the agenda here, there's something to do with the surgeries that held at the library. The surgeries aren't working in an effective way, sort of engaging with the community. I know this firsthand, but I went and spoke to Linda and had a great chat for a whole hour, and I was the only person there for the whole hour that was there, just like we're taking in a pack of water. Rain on it was going to arrive, and might need a drink because it was so hot, but nobody turned up. So, really, just to say that I think if you are going to discuss it, it's not working. You need to be more out there. I suggest going back to something like the market house arrangement, where there's a presence at the market with a wider amount of time. Because you're either going to be serious about community engagement or not, and either way in the library isn't working. And secondly, I'd just say is congratulations on getting the video working at last. I know somebody said that it was first brought up at video in council meetings 9 years ago, so it didn't take long. And it also stays to me as I've been sort of going around videoing a lot of council meetings, and one of the things that I've noted from video and council meetings is, in general, when the camera's on, the behaviour is better than when the camera is off. So maybe with now your own process, that behaviour can continue to improve, particularly as you've got to discuss code of conduct things in private term later on, where there's more concerns about disasters that councils.
Okay, thank you. So to resolve to exclude members of the press and public. Can I have a proposal, please? That is proposing and seconded by Bev. All those in favour?
No, not yet.
Let's go now.
Valerie voted.
Sorry. So can I show of hands of those who are voting for? Okay. Those against? Those abstaining? We're moving on to the election of the Deputy Management Committee Chair. Do I have any nominations for that? Chris?
I nominate Councillor Louis Stark.
I'm happy to second that. Any other nominations? No? All those in favour?
Mr. Chairman, we've got to ask him if he's willing to.
I am vice chair at the moment, so yes, I'm happy to continue as vice chair.
Okay, I was just.
We have to drag him to the seat.
All those in favour? All those against? All those abstaining? 3 abstain. 4, is it? Sorry, can't see.
Okay.
Management Committee meeting minutes. So this is confirm and sign the minutes of the ordinary meeting of the Management Committee held on Monday the 14th of April. So I'm quite happy to propose them. Can I have a second for those? So Danny is a seconder, and all those in favour. So that's all unanimous. No problem.
It's all.
Oh, what? Okay. Okay, subcommittees. To receive and note the minutes of the following meetings. Communities Committee. June, 2nd of June 25. Planning and Development Subcommittee on the 3rd of June. Communities, Markets and Tourism Subcommittee on the 10th of June. Personnel Committee on the 24th of June. And it has resolved to recommend to the Management Committee that a temporary member of staff from Freeport be sourced for 1 hour per week to pack down the market equipment on a Saturday when required till the end of September. Is that something we'll discuss now? And is that part of that contract that was on?
Which contract?
Well, there's terms and conditions contract.
Yes, that was linked to that, yes. But then obviously we've set the hourly rate, so that's their terms and conditions defined in the temp.
And that contract is only for that one temporary member?
That's just their temporary staff terms and conditions.
Yeah, I was worried about the exclusivity.
Okay.
Because reading it sounded as if we were committed to any temporary staff vacancy going forward, committed to them, as opposed to that one post.
Well, that isn't the discussion I've had with them about what our requirements potentially are. So I could clarify that with them.
If you could clarify that with them, then I'm happy. That we need to
being a parent, I do look through these things, and it looks to me it's the same as the temporary contract we had for one of our staff, Steve, who then became permanent. So it's no different from the contract we had before. So I think it's standard from people. They cover all the bases. But it is the same contract from what I can see.
Yeah, it was just the exclusivity clause.
Yeah.
That's on there. Okay, if that could just be, I understand that, but it doesn't mean going forward we don't try and improve the terms. If it's just linked to that one post, then I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah. So can I have a proposer for that? Sarah, would you like to Could I have a seconder, please?
Stage 2 and I will say.
Yeah, okay then. So Louis, seconding. All those in favour? Okay. Planning and Development Subcommittee on the 1st of July, Amenities Subcommittee on the 7th of July. It's resolved to recommend to the Management Committee to approve actions detailed in the Ross and Bloom report for the use of the suggested budget of £1,500 town event EMR. John, would you like to say a bit more?
Yeah, basically it came up at the meeting. We want to start doing things like putting this out to a competition for schools to design a logo, that sort of thing.
Oh.
And it was felt that the money that left in there's some spare money, if you like, in the town events budget, I think. So
It was money that was set aside previously for Ross and Bloom
yes.
that hadn't been spent.
Yeah. It was felt purpose that money.
So, okay, so you'd like to propose
that? Yes, please.
Can I have a seconder, please? So Sarah, seconder, all those in favour? It's unanimous. Working groups. To receive and note the updated schedule of meetings from the relevant conveners. Climate and legal emergency. Play strategy.
Nothing at the moment.
Skate park.
Nothing from the working group at the present.
We have feedback at the amenities meeting, didn't we, that it's in the design stage. Neighbourhood development plan.
Nothing we haven't met yet.
Employee documentation review.
We're meeting on Wednesday. So
Okay.
hopefully it's crashed through the whole thing.
Changing places.
A proposal is going to F&P next week.
Okay. And Ukraine twinning.
Had our first meeting, draft proposal. It may need some little bit of modifications. It's started to F&P next week.
Thank you. How's that, Millie?
I'd like to be put on the working group of the Ukraine twinning, please.
See no reason they're open. It's up to the working group and the next working group to include you and vote on it. So
We can discuss this at the F&P as well. Determine what the next stage of the working group is going to be at F&P.
yeah. Is that okay, Millie? Yeah. Major announcements. Receive a verbal report from the mayor.
Yes, sorry. A visible this month on the 14th of June, I attended a flag raising event at the Market House to commemorate the end of the Falklands War. On the 17th of June, I attended a digital cafe at the library, which is an initiative run by Age UK Wyvern, which is my chosen charity for the year. And that initiative helps people with technology so they don't feel excluded from today's modern world. On the 23rd of June, I attended a second flag raising event at the Market House, and that was to mark the start of Armed Forces Week. On the 11th of July, I attended a Shrewsbury Meets memorial at Worcester Guildhall, and that was to remember those who died in the genocide 30 years ago. And yesterday, I attended the 80th birthday celebrations of Violette Szabo. And for those who don't know who that is, she was a French-British spy, and she was executed by the Germans in 1945 during the Second World War. That afternoon was a fabulous day, sitting in the sunshine with Rosemary Wrigley. I don't know, for those who know Rosemary, or for those who don't know, she's the most amazing lady, and she has dedicated her life to celebrating Violette Szabo. And she's turned her house into a museum in Wormwood, and it was a fabulous afternoon. and Andy will back me up on that because he was there
4 hours.
for 4 hours in the sunshine. But it was worth every minute. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Finance, income and...
Town clerk.
Oh, sorry. Town clerk. Sorry, I'm sitting the wrong one.
Just a few bits to run through. The councillor training workshops are now booked for Wednesday the 10th of September, 6:30 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start. Approximately a 2-hour session, and Saturday 13th September 9:30 a.m. until approximately 1:30 p.m. with a break. It's really important all councillors to attend if possible, please. I will email out details to everybody. West Mercia PCC newsletter circulated on the 9th of July. A link to a petition about neighbourhood plan funding was circulated on the 9th of July. Budget consultation stalls have been at the Thursday markets on the 3rd and 10th of July, and on the 10th of July we also had information on the casual vacancy councillor for anybody interested, which the nominations are open until the 18th for the 2 casual vacancies, and this information is on our website and been on our Facebook page, etc. We're hoping to do a couple more budget consultations at the markets because we want to try and get as many responses as possible.
So, on the budget consultation, when is that closing?
We're going to close it fairly soon, but we wanted to try and get as many entries. So I'm thinking we could probably do a couple more markets and then close it maybe end of July.
End of July, okay.
There was information requested from Herefordshire Rural Hub about the Wye-scapes and regarding developing public access elements of the project and local intervention priorities. So the operations managers completed all the information to feed into that. There's a meeting and further meeting with the chief executive and leader of Herefordshire Council been arranged for the 23rd of July for councillors here, so we'll circulate the information for that. They have asked me to let them know by tomorrow any particular issues that you would like to raise that we can send over in advance so that they can have responses ready. So if anybody can send me those either tomorrow or speak to me after the meeting. Things I've already got down to raise with them are the details about the Extraordinary Market Town Maintenance Fund, about the meeting at Holmes Road, about Holmes Road car park, and the Lengthsman standardisation that they talked about putting in place for the whole county. But anything else, please let me know.
So, what's wrong with Holmes Road car park?
Just that meeting. We've been trying to get the meeting about the parking enforcement, and they're not.
Oh, I see.
So it's just trying to get some progress on that, really. We've now had notification about the closure of St Mary's Churchyard. That's now been confirmed. And the operations manager is going to attend the PCC meeting this week, as there's been no town councillor representative attend a meeting for quite an extended period. So they were keen for somebody to go along. She's going to attend this one with the aim of appointing a new rep after the elections.
Okay. Do you have details? I'll try and pop along.
I can send it. I know it's I think it's tomorrow night, but I'll check. I'll get
it's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's tomorrow night.
Okay.
The Herefordshire Council ran a data collection exercise to keep a record of any inquiries and requests for support from the community during June, and they asked us to help with this for anybody making inquiries with us. I'll put that as part of the information for their data on engagement with the public, so we've completed that. And I've already mentioned about the police going to be attending, parking up their engagement van down by the river in the warmer months. So that will be happening over the summer. That's it.
Okay, so some quite heavy activity.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Ed. Oh, Millie, sorry.
Sorry, what time is, who is it that's coming on 23rd of July?
The chief exec and the leader, 6.
6 p.m?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have an opportunity to talk to them, will we?
Yeah.
Okay, fab. Okay, brilliant, thank you.
Just on the centralisation, I've raised that at communities last week. I've got some assurances from Bruce that they would be doing something. I think that's the second time you've got these open. Perhaps we should do something.
Okay. Yes, Millie, if you've got any questions you want them to ask or subject areas, so they can prepare, if you could do that in advance.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, it's finance, isn't it? It's the next one. Any questions you'd like to raise on finance? I do have one, and that is MailChimp of what we're using it for.
Send out our newsletters and any mailings that come from the town council.
So
The people who signed up to our newsletters to subscribe on our website, any mailings we send out from the town council,
So,
they go to all of the people that have signed up.
Okay, and how much is that a month?
So it's, I'll not put that in here. I want to say it's £20 a month. I can check that for you. It was free up to 500 subscribers, and it's no more than £30 a month, but I think it's around £20 a month. But I can confirm that.
Okay, has anybody got any other questions? Okay, so right, sorry, I just lost my way. Finance and council payment to receive and approve the schedule of payments. We all seen these. I'm quite happy to propose them. If I could have a seconder, please. So, Dan, all those in favour? That's passed. To receive and note details of payments made since the last meeting. Those as well. So again, I'm quite happy to propose those. Can I have a seconder, please? So I've got Louis, so seconder. All those in favour? Those passed as well. Finance and insurance to receive and note the disclosures legally required by members in relation to the town council insurance. We need to individually sign these and return them to them.
It's, if possible, yes, or confirm that acceptance of them, if you like. It's just a term of our insurance.
Okay, so has anybody got anything they'd like to disclose on those terms? Ed?
I suggest that everyone's not got access to it, you can just read those out for purposes of the meeting.
Yes, let's just trying to find them. I just put them up. The declarations are the policyholder or any partner or any director involved in the business must specifically disclose if they have been subject of a county court judgment, an individual voluntary agreement, a company voluntary arrangement, or a sheriff court decree. Yeah, sorry. My worms again. Being convicted or charged with, but not yet tried for, or been given an official police caution in respect of any criminal offence other than a motoring offence which is not spent under the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, been declared bankrupt or insolvent, or have been or are currently the subject of any bankruptcy or insolvency proceedings, been involved as an owner, partner or director of any business which has gone or is currently going into receivership, liquidation or administration, been disqualified from being a company director, been subject to an investigation by HM Revenue and Customs, which has resulted in a prosecution, are aware of any incidents that may give rise to a claim, have not yet been notified to insurers. So my recommendation is that individual councillors actually sign this, and please return it to Carla, please, or else we'll take it as read that none of us have got anything to declare. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the case.
You don't need to vote on that.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You got paper copies?
I can get paper copies. Yeah, no.
Okay. Health and safety. Any verbal updates? So in April, we had no near misses or accidents. In May, we had one near miss. So in June, no near misses or accidents. And what was the near miss on?
We discussed it last meeting, wasn't it?
Yes.
I can't remember what it was now. We did talk about it.
It was
Not since it was reported. It was reported at the last meeting. It was a needle.
Yeah, oh yes, that's one. So found a needle, and hence the toolbox talk in June, which focused on our operatives of safety when clearing up, such as pigeon mess, bodily fluids, sharps, PPE they need to wear, and any reporting of incidents. And there was also a water compliance legionnaire control, which is supervisor, operations manager, and town clerk attended on the 16th of June as well. And policies to consider revoking the existing open hybrid working policy and approve delegation of personnel subcommittee for incorporation within the employee handbook. This is really to remove confusion, isn't it? We shouldn't really have a policy that only affects our employees, so should rightfully be included in our employee handbook, which
Will be.
it will be. It's really yes. So I'm quite happy. Sarah, you're going to propose that as chair of these.
Yeah.
The second, please. Ed, the second. All those in favour? Okay. Any abstentions? Any against? Okay. To review the following policies, community engagement statement of intent that was last reviewed on the 23rd. Has anybody got any comments on that? James.
Yeah, on the section 2, defining the community, it's got here retail and industrial businesses in the area. Seems, I mean, to be pedantic, it seems a bit narrow, where it should be more local, national local businesses. There's more than just retail and industrial here. There's a lot of tourism services and lots of other businesses.
Sorry, which part?
Section 2.
Oh, section 2. Okay. So we just said business.
It just says retail and industrial businesses in the area. So there's more, the community consists of more than that. It's a big part of the community here.
So it's suggesting all businesses?
I think, yes, local, national.
Well, it's all businesses that, that has a presence in Ross.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Is that okay?
All businesses that have a presence in Ross.
Yeah.
So the ones that may not be consulted are maybe online. Yeah. I just wonder whether it needs to be a physical presence in Ross. Do we need to be that specific? I just wanted to, if they don't have a physical presence in Ross, then I'll find how to independent.
Even if they don't have physical presence, they could in the areas. I think it's true.
Well, that's a physical.
The businesses that trade in Ross are active in Ross.
Millie.
Yeah, obviously the opportunities for formal representations to the council. I have asked.
Sorry, is that a different point from the businesses involved?
Yeah.
Okay, can I come to you in a moment?
Yeah.
How do we, because what I don't want to do is overburden the council or the staff on this, just by doing something to consult with businesses in the north of England. No, it's unlikely.
Perhaps retail, hospitality, and industrial businesses in the area. Does that cover a wide enough?
There's more than that, isn't there? I mean, the hairdressing is a retail, isn't it? I mean, they're software businesses, they're services. I mean, everything just local, national, and global businesses that are in the area. We've got a lot of businesses which don't come under retail and industrial.
So can we just leave it as businesses?
Or businesses in the area.
Just leave it at that. That's wide enough definition.
Yeah.
All businesses in the area.
Well,
all businesses.
Just leave it as businesses in the area, as opposed to.
Okay, businesses in the area. Okay.
Okay. Millie.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, quite a few times, members of the public have struggled with the 15 minutes. I did ask for it to be extended once and was just told no without it being voted on. So I'd just like to ensure that members of the public are given a fair amount of time to air their views. We are their representatives. And I feel 15 minutes, if we have 5 people who want to talk, is simply not enough for members of the public to put their views across when, you know, at the end of the day, we are here by their voting. So I just don't feel that 15 minutes is always long enough. If there's only one person that wants to speak, I think that's fine. But as today, you know, we have 4 people who want to speak. They're limited to 3 minutes each. I think we could afford members of the public more than 3 minutes of our time per month.
Well, what is John?
It's just to point out that that's a fair point. We do have the facility to extend that, I think, because I know I did it when when we first discussed the McDonald's. That was a popular one for people to have their say on, and I extended it out to half an hour, I think, and with the option to extend. You know, we can spend all night listening to members of the public if we want to. That option does exist, but I take your point.
Is there before I come back, is there a legal thing on this?
I'd have to check if it was legal, but that is the standard amount of time allowed for public participation at council meetings in general.
But it's always been at the chairman's discretion.
There's always been discretion to extend it.
So before I come back to you, Millie, could I, Danny, and then to Katie, and then I can...
Oh, mine's completely separate, so I don't know if you want to continue going on with that.
Yeah, I just really wanted to say, I know the meeting that you were talking about, because obviously when the issues we had in town where the pavements and everything collapsed and we had all the businesses in here, it was cut really short. And I know we have an agenda, but when something as serious as that happens, we should be really listening to the members of the public.
Well, I understand. So to my mind, is that the chairman's discretion if they extend that. I wouldn't like to put it in there that it's all meetings, because we are struggling to complete all our business inside 2 hours. And I think it's unfair on our staff to have really late nights as well. Millie?
Yeah, I do understand that, but I thought that if it was to go to an extension, it should be voted on. But when I asked for an extension, I was just told no. So I always thought it should be voted on. So I just wanted to reiterate, if a member asks for an extension, that should be voted upon, not just a blanket no.
Why change to standing orders?
We can check. We've got standing orders coming up in September on the 11th. Then.
Well, yeah, okay, it's a different issue on standing orders. If I can ask Clark to actually check about the 15 minutes. And we'll discuss it in okay.
So is this?
I think we'll defer that, but
wasn't it all pressed for second extension? Hasn't the one already been granted? My memory playing tricks. It was so long ago.
Well, so long ago. Let's we'll move on from there and move on. Katie.
No, I just wanted to say it doesn't really matter whether there was a second or not. At that point, it was quite important to the people of the town that they weren't trading, so they wanted to talk. So that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Ed.
Can any member propose to suspend standing orders at a point during the meeting? And if it's seconded, it goes to a vote? Yeah. Then that is the way, then that gets round having to change standing orders. And that is something that exists currently within our standing orders. That means that a vote could take place if you wanted to extend the meeting. You could vote, request, can we please suspend standing orders, get a second in order to extend the meeting, extend that section that way.
That's probably
So if it already exists, you might want to use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then we don't need to change section 5 then, is that correct? Yeah. You're happy with that then?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, we moved on from that point.
Yes.
So we get point 7, last paragraph, where it mentions about the council also employs ground maintenance and other outdoor staff, and mentions about the balance can be given to those. It's no fault at all to any of those staff. But I'm aware that some feedback that has been given to those staff doesn't always get back to the office, which is understandable. Because busy, they'll go about their day, they'll forget these things. It's absolutely fine. So it may be a separate proposal. I'm aware that we did some time ago speak for giving staff tablets and or phones when they're out in the field, so to speak. I wonder if there's some sort of form that can be built or given to them on their technology, where they can submit that feedback straight away that comes to the office. So we caption it there and then. The feedback has been valuable and it has been missed. That will then provide them with a supported network to be able to give that feedback to the council, but also give them a sense of pride that they've actually fed back the information from the resident so they can say that they've done that.
Yeah, so we don't need to change this. We just, you could.
No, I'm not requesting a change in that, just supportive on this. Can we look at doing this?
Does that need to go through amenities or personnel?
Probably personnel.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm happy to turn up to a person.
I only thought amenities.
Yeah,
said maybe
staff,
people
yeah. I'll go along to it, but.
I mean,
personnel ones aren't.
you probably will have the next one, though, won't you, because of the.
No.
The next one that's scheduled is in August, isn't it?
5th of August, I think.
We don't have. Equipment for the start. Personnel doesn't tell you budget, so we might have to go to amenities anyway.
So let's, I think because if I can ask the clerk to actually look into an appropriate.
We have already got a tablet that the community staff have to fill in some of their checklists on. We've got a Google form set up so that it's taken some of the paper away. So it could just be adding another form. So currently,
possibly another tablet.
So currently there's one phone out with them and one tablet. So there is 2 between the 3 staff. So we have got that ability. So that could just be a case of making a form that can be accessed from those devices.
So I'm just wondering, could you have a look at it and then bring it back to either amenities? I think is there.
Because that would actually work, because obviously Esme will be there then, so that might work better.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need to change anything on this. It's only the only change is businesses in the area to that second blueprint there.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if I got a proposer for that one. Danny proposed it. John, you seconded it.
I can second it.
All those in favour? James, you're voting on this? All those in favour? Yeah. So passed. Okay. Next one is council and staff safety. Didn't actually see this one.
No. It's because I think it had to be carried out. It was on. It's with the April documentation. I don't know if you're on the website.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a copy.
Oh, have you not got a copy of that one?
I'll defer that one.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we'll defer that one to the next meeting, I think.
Okay.
And then sustainability policy. Did have a question. So, has anybody got any questions on that? Do we?
I did email the clerk. I think it's an excellent idea to have a flood medal. It's part of our biodiversity and equity in Wales. And if it's for a climate emergency. I wasn't sure where it actually steps out, the extent to which the area is covered by the flood medal.
I think these are extracts from the Riverside Management Plan.
You can do, yeah.
So the Riverside Management Plan would have more detail. This is just to link the 2 documents.
So can we have the link in the sustainability policy so when people look at it and you've got an idea where it exactly is and the extent to which it is actually covering that.
So we could perhaps refer to the Riverside Management Plan.
I think that would be good.
Okay.
To refer to it.
Yes, that would achieve what I wanted to.
And that Riverside Management Plan, that's published on our website.
Yes.
Ed.
I think maybe my interesting point, are we able to do a live link from one document to another document on our website? So that would be quite good, so when you're reading, they can click on it and take directly to that document.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking, isn't it?
Oh,
So I'm saying if it said the Riverside Floodplain, so when you're reading this, there'll be a link, there'll be a high.
Oh, yeah, we can do that, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And the other one is on the climate change and energy conservation one. In the red, I just want the words where practical.
Good.
On that.
Where's this on tree management?
No, the climate change emergency at the bottom of page 2.
Right.
I wanted to start off that paragraph with where practical, the council will minimise carbon emissions. So it's right.
Oh, sorry. Where possible.
Where practical.
Oh, practical. Okay.
Okay. Is there any other questions on that one? Okay, we're voting on that in a moment. Regarding policy as well. And that's got a hyperlink in it. Yeah. Is there anybody got any questions on this? Right. We don't normally get involved in safeguarding. We're always going to be accompanied because that will come with extra responsibilities, etc., which I think we want to avoid.
I think this is partly because a lot of grants want one of these in place.
Yeah. Okay, so the no changes. That one, the sustainability policy and safeguarding itself. I'm quite opposed to. Oh, sorry. I do mean literally.
Oh, no, that's easy.
Okay, sustainability policy, I'm quite happy to propose. Katie's second, all those in favour. That one's passed. Safeguarding policy, can I have a proposer, please? So I've got Sarah, seconder, Katie, all those in favour. Okay. Okay.
This may be a simple question, but when these policies are amended, I'm assuming that our staff are made aware of the amendment.
I circulate.
And does that include staff that are also contracted by third parties that do work for the council?
It is, yes, I think it's in our procurement. I can't remember which procurement policy that mentions this.
Council for Surgeries to consider proposal from the Finished Group for provision of council for surgeries for approval.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I've got a request for, I haven't had capacity to call a meeting since the last meeting. And actually, I would like to stand back for being convened on this if somebody else would like to take it.
I've been asked to pass on that we haven't got anybody due to the lack of volunteers after this Saturday. There's nobody scheduled and it will have to go around the same people again if we don't decide to go forward.
Okay,
Willie.
Yes, has been raised before from the safety element. I mean, we've had done at the marketplace, we had a lot of engagement. Obviously, you were down there talking about budgeting and things like that. Why wasn't that done at the library? Because not as many people would have gone down the library. So I think you've actually prove the fact yourself that if you want to reach the members of the public, it has to be done in the marketplace. There is an issue with safety in the library. We don't have, although we have a lone working policy in place, we're not abiding by it. Members of council have been murdered. I'm sure we're all aware. I'm sure you've all read the Ross Gazette, which did set out the threats to my life, which was why I haven't done any surgeries at all in the library. And because those perpetrators are still out and about, I certainly will not be working in the library at all. I don't feel safe at all in there. When Danny and I had the engagement down at Marketplace, we saw 24 individuals. Obviously, I know that other councillors do have a certain amount of people in. By what the member of the public said when you were there, Lyndon, there was only one member of the public went to you. I think if we want to reach the public in a proper way, we need to go where the public are. And I don't see why there's so much pushback against that.
Okay, if I go to Dan and Bev.
I'm happy to be the convener for that. If we want to push that forward, yeah, I'm happy to take that on. I'm also happy to do some dates because my diary's become free, so I'll send an email to you, Carla, to get some dates in. But I'm happy to convene that.
Bev.
I'll do the 26th of July.
26th of July, thank you.
Louis.
Well, I mean, I'm down to the 2nd of August. You can note that. I just think we have to be careful that you shouldn't look at the surgery in isolation. We have extensive representation from residents through my email in terms of casework, which I respond to automatically. In fact, most of my casework comes through email. I get some through the town council office as well. You could say that the lack of engagement at surgeries is actually a success caused by those engagements that we have elsewhere. And while I'm not disagreeing with some of the points that have been made, I think we should ask residents. I think rather than having this debate around this table, we should ask residents what they think about the engagement with councillors and Ross, including the engagements that happen through email, through telephone, through the town council offices and through surgeries. Because I think it's a whole package share that we offer. And that is often how I'm engaged, is actually through email, telephone, and sometimes through the town council.
I mean, I'm not opposed to surgeries being held under the Market House on Saturday at all. If that's the way the councillors wish to go ahead.
I think it's just, we're kind of repeating the debate we had at the last meeting. Yeah. And the reason the work we set up was because to come up with a hybrid solution that took in all of these opinions. I know that we had meetings in the library that we could never have had under the Market House because they were so personal in nature that it would not have been appropriate, and it needed that space in order for that conversation to take place. So I think, yeah, it's accepting nothing. It isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all, and I think that's why the working group was set up. So if Danny's able to exercise the wisdom of Solomon and come up with a good solution, I'll be very grateful.
I'll go to Millie and then.
It was just a task and finish group, wasn't it? So actually, why can't we hybrid it? Have one Saturday a month or 2 Saturdays a month onto the marketplace and do the same with the library, and then you don't need the task and finish group.
We can certainly put that forward, but we then need to come to council for council to agree that. We can't just do it, so we need to make it official. So like I say, I'm happy to convene it. If people that potentially can't make any meetings, email me their suggestions. I'll collate them together on a form for those that can't make a meeting but want to be part of it. We've now got a wonderful, over sophisticated piece of equipment here where we can do it virtually as well. So let's get that going and get on with it and make a decision.
Okay. So do we need to vote on that?
Yes, please.
Jan, I presume propose yourself.
Yes, propose myself.
I'm quite happy to, John to second it. All those in favour? Okay. Okay, Wilton Road Rock, received an update and ratified amendments to Wallstone selection following the site visit and received the final design information of the proposed wall.
So we've still not received the actual final design, only the bits that we've had with the meeting document showing the latest that I had on the 24th of June was that thank you for providing an update on the preferred cladding option. This should be shared with the designers. The detailed design is progressing, but there are some elements on which the design team is waiting for HC's decision. I've attached the 2 preliminary drawings showing the height of the wall without the coping stones. I'll provide any additional information as the scheme progresses. So the latest option, obviously I emailed round on the 11th of June after we'd attended a site meeting to look at the different samples, and an alternative option to the one that had originally been chosen was seen on site to be a better match. Go there. And so that's what we've gone ahead with. So they needed to get this, basically with the long lead time, they needed to get it all on order because they're potentially looking at a road closure that they've already had to put in notice for around October time. So they'd already had to get that in, so they need the stone order to coincide with that.
So that has already been agreed. So they don't need to ratify it.
Well, it's to ratify because obviously there wasn't time for it to go to a meeting.
Yeah,
obviously, it was an emergency thing. So obviously, if there was back from anybody that there was anybody not in agreement with that, we went ahead. But obviously, if there is any disagreement with that option,
I think we need to trust the people who are there. Yeah, the right option.
So I'll propose that.
Okay. Right, so we've got Sarah. So we've got Sarah who's proposed it. We've got Leon who's seconded it. And those in favour of ratifying that. Okay. Thank you for those councillors that were present. Okay. Official representatives on outside bodies. So by exception, please, if we, is there anything that you would like to raise, Millie?
Yeah, obviously the Pride procession took place week before last, and Nanatumba was brought up and the twinning of. I know that we had this discussion before. What has been brought to my attention is some children that went to John Curl, to Nanatumbo from John Curl, were A, told not to wear anything rainbow, B, told not to link arms when they were visiting, because of the change in law about same-sex relationships. Now, to me, that's really concerning, because on one hand, we are teaching our young people to accept diversity, to be proud of who they are, and on the other hand, when they go on a school trip to Nanatumba, they're told do not hold each other's hands, do not wear rainbows, keep your sexuality, if you are gay, very much to your chest. And that's three peoples that I've heard of. that were actually quite scared. Now, if somebody has not come out in the open of being gay, the fear that that must represent them when they're going to a place, to be told that basically what they're doing is wrong. I really don't feel comfortable about our twinning. Obviously, the last time I brought it up, after I had a couple of emails from people that were gay asking about it, Mr. Chiotti said that because he was gay, he thought there was no problem. However, having spoken about it to several people over the last couple of weeks, several people think there is a real issue here. And I know what was said before is that it's not the people, it's the government, and that's not the people's fault. But we're not twinning with Russia, are we? We're twinning with Ukraine. You know, it's not Russian people's fault, but would we twin with Russia at the moment?
So, can I come on to Sarah?
I think the school don't have any choice, and I think what they're asking the children to do is, I think, saying, you know, there are cultural differences between countries, but that's where the trip is going. The school needs them to understand that it's different. They're not saying it's right. I mean, the school is twinned with Namatumba. You know, essentially it's
because Ross is twinned with Namatumba.
No, it went the other way round. The school got linked with Namatumba and the town council followed.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't think it's helping.
I don't think it's helping, but I also think it's actually a valid bit of learning that you need to respect cultural differences.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. I think there is a place for this discussion. This item of the agenda of that item is official representatives and outside bodies receive reports from councillors appointed to represent the town council. And this is, I don't know which of these organisations you're talking about, Councillor Boylan, in order to bring this up. But I think if this is an agenda item you'd like to discuss, it actually has to come to FNP. And I'd be interested to discuss Namatumba at FNP, who's responsible for twinning.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Conde Twinning Association seems to be going from strength to strength, and they're planning something rather lovely with the church and the big band event, I think next April. And they're always keeping welcoming new members. They're being very imaginative in what they're doing, I think.
Okay, thank you. So, is there anything else that was people would like to bring up? Valerie.
As I attended a Ross Charity Trustees meeting on the 25th of June, just to keep you up to date, the land corridor is still under investigation of legal issues, so there's nothing specific to it.
Yeah. So, thank you, Valerie. Anything else? Just going down the no? Okay. Confirm the date of the next scheduled meeting and propose items for consideration. It's going to be full council on Monday, the 8th of September. The agenda item to bring forward on those. What have we agreed at this meeting?
I don't know if there's anything. No, but there is. We'd already previously mentioned about remembrance going on September.
Yes.
Agenda.
Welcoming 2 new councillors as well.
Oh, well, welcoming 2 new councillors, yes.
They may be.
Louis.
We do need a final report on the voting block, please.
Yeah.
That should come up. That should be available by September.
Lyndon.
Can we appoint new members to the outside organisation?
Yes, and committees as well, I think.
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah, sorry, I nearly completely forgot. The group, the Ross Pride group, would like a representative from the council if anyone is interested to join their group.
Okay, they've sent a formal invite, have they?
Yes, they have. I can forward that on to the clerk. Yes, I am part of that already, but suggested that they should go through the council.
Yeah, if you can forward that to me, and then we can put that as a whole for any representative.
So do we need to, we've got appointment of new councillors to subcommittees.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to also give the option for people to change round subcommittees if they really wanted to?
That's
always an option.
Yeah, that's all, yeah. It does need to be done at a full council, well, it does need to be done at full council or management, but if the agenda item is on there, it can be anybody changed if.
Yeah. So is that Ed, do you want to say?
No, I'm just thinking if that was outstanding order as well. We have to appoint the chairs at the annual meeting, don't we?
Yes, the chairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the members are agreed, but there is the option to change members throughout the year as long as it's at full council or management.
Okay, Millie.
Yeah, I think it'd be good with 2 new councillors coming until we know their skill set, and, you know, it might be really interesting to see who's available and what skills they bring.
Yeah, normally we invite them to attend all the subcommittees, and then they narrow it down after about 3 months.
Talk about, I just wanted to say how great it is that you've got so many people to stand in for into seats and drops, and it's a fabulous sign of local democracy in action. And I know some parish councils can't get anybody to stand, so.
Yes. Okay, that's brilliant, and looking for a good election. Okay, so that's closing the formal meeting. We're going to close the last minute present public. Say thank you for coming and listening to us. Hopefully it's riveting.
Thanks. You still want to stand? Something like.
I'll be here by 9 o'clock.
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, or going into pitch with plants with that, you know,
Oh.